Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our English learning podcast. I'm so glad you're here today because we have a very interesting topic to talk about. Today, we're going to discuss something that affects many people's lives: village life versus city life. Do you prefer living in a village or in a big city? Have you ever thought about the differences between the two? Well, if you haven't, don't worry. By the end of this episode, you'll know a lot more about both lifestyles. Before we begin, feel free to think about your own life. Do you live in a village or do you live in a city? Or maybe you've experienced both. Either way, you can join us as we explore the good and the bad of both village and city life. I'm here today with Judy. Hi, Judy. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great, thank you. I'm excited to talk about this topic today.
Awesome. Let's jump right into it. So, Judy, what do you think about village life? Have you ever lived in a village?
Yes, actually. I grew up in a small village before moving to the city. Village life is really peaceful and quiet. I loved how close we were to nature. There were trees, rivers, and fresh air everywhere.
That sounds amazing. What do you think are the biggest advantages of living in a village?
Well, first of all, the environment is much cleaner. There isn't as much pollution, and it's very peaceful. The people in villages are also very friendly. Everyone knows each other, and neighbors are like family. You can walk outside and people will greet you with a smile.
I agree. I visited villages before, and I noticed how calm everything feels. In cities, things can be so fast-paced, right?
Yes, exactly. In a village, life moves at a slower pace. People aren't in a rush, and they have more time to relax. It's great if you want a quiet and simple life. Plus, if you love nature, a village is the perfect place to live. You can wake up to the sound of birds singing instead of noisy cars.
That sounds lovely. But are there any challenges to living in a village?
Oh, definitely. While villages are beautiful, they don't always have the same conveniences as cities. For example, there might not be as many schools, hospitals, or shopping centers. Sometimes you have to travel a long distance to find these things.
That's a good point. I imagine it can be difficult if you need something quickly, like a doctor or a place to buy something.
Yes, exactly. And jobs are another thing. In villages, there aren't as many job opportunities as there are in cities. Many people work in farming or local businesses. But if you are looking for a specific career, you might need to move to a city.
That makes sense. So, in short, village life is peaceful and close to nature, but it can be less convenient. Now, let's talk about city life. How do you feel about living in a city?
City life is very different from village life. It's much faster and more energetic. In the city, there's always something happening. You have so many options for everything, whether it's shopping, entertainment, or finding a job.
Yes, cities are full of opportunities, right?
Absolutely. In cities, you can find more schools, universities, and job opportunities. People from all over the world live in cities, so you can meet many different kinds of people. It's a great place to experience different cultures and ideas.
I love how diverse cities are. You can learn a lot from just living in a city because there is always something new to discover.
Exactly. And in a city, you have access to modern conveniences like public transportation, shopping malls, and restaurants. You can go out and do something exciting every day if you want.
That sounds like a lot of fun. But I'm sure city life has its downsides too. What are some challenges people face in cities?
Yes, city life isn't perfect. One big challenge is the noise. Cities can be very noisy, with cars, buses, and people everywhere. It can be hard to find a quiet space. And of course, cities are more crowded. There are a lot of people, so you don't have as much personal space.
That's true. I've been to cities where it's hard to even find a seat on the bus or a train because it's so crowded.
Yes, exactly. And because there are so many people, cities can also feel more stressful. Everyone is in a hurry, and sometimes it feels like there's not enough time to relax. Plus, cities can be expensive. Rent, food, and other things tend to cost more in a city.
Wow, those are important points. So, city life offers more opportunities and excitement, but it can also be noisy, crowded, and expensive. Now, if you had to choose, Shudi, would you prefer to live in a village or a city?
That's a tough question. I think both have their advantages. I love the peace and nature in a village, but I also enjoy the excitement and opportunities in a city. It really depends on what you are looking for in life.
I agree. There is no right answer. Some people love the calmness of a village, while others thrive in the busy energy of a city. It's all about what makes you happy.
Exactly. And some people even choose to live in a place that's close to both. They live in a small town or a suburb where they can enjoy the quiet, but they are also close enough to the city to enjoy the conveniences.
That sounds like a great balance. So, whether you live in a village, a city, or somewhere in between, there are always positives and negatives. The most important thing is to choose what fits your lifestyle.
Yes, and remember, you can always visit one or the other if you need a change. If you live in a city and need a break, you can visit a village for some peace and fresh air. And if you live in a village and want excitement, you can take a trip to the city.
That's such a great advice, Judy.
Now that we have talked about life in the village and the city, let's explore some important words related to our topic.
Yes, these words will help you understand more about villages and cities. We'll explain each word, and then we will share some fun examples.
Sounds great, Emily. Let's start with our first word, village. A village is a small group of houses in the countryside, often with farms and fewer people than a city. Can you give me an example?
Sure. My grandmother lives in a quiet village with lots of trees. Now, Judy, let's move on to the word city. A city is a large place where many people live and work. Cities have tall buildings, many cars, and busy streets. Can you give me an example?
Of course. I moved to the city for a better job and more entertainment. Next, let's talk about the word peaceful. It means very calm and quiet, with no loud noises or stress. What's your example, Emily?
Oh, that's easy. The village is peaceful and I can relax without any noise. Now it's time for crowded. This word describes a place with too many people in one area. Can you use it in a sentence, Judy?
Yes. The train station is always crowded during the morning rush hour. Let's go to nature now. Nature refers to the things outside like trees, rivers, and animals, not human-made. Can you give an example, Emily?
Sure. I love living close to nature where I can see the mountains and rivers every day. Now, Judy, let's discuss fast-paced. It means moving quickly, with lots of activities happening. What's your sentence?
Here's one. City life is fast-paced. Everyone is always in a hurry to go somewhere. Let's talk about opportunities now. These are chances to do something, like getting a job or learning something new. How would you use it?
That's easy. There are more job opportunities in the city because many companies are located there. Next, let's move to the word polluted. It means when the air, water, or land is dirty because of harmful substances like smoke or trash. Can you use it in a sentence, Judy?
Sure. The air in big cities is often polluted because of the many cars and factories. Let's keep going, Emily. How about neighbors? These are the people who live next to you or very close to your house. What's your example?
Mm, my neighbors are very friendly and always help me when I need something. Now, Judy, let's talk about diversity. This word means a mix of many different kinds of people or things. Can you use it in a sentence?
Sure. Well, the city has a lot of diversity, with people from all over the world living together. Let's move on to convenience. This means something that makes life easier, like having a supermarket close to your house. What's your example, Emily?
Living in the city is convenient because there are shops and restaurants everywhere. Now, Judy, let's talk about the word lifestyle. It means the way a person lives, including their daily activities, habits, and surroundings. Can you give me an example?
Sure. Village life and city life are very different in terms of lifestyle. Now it's your turn, Emily. Let's talk about rent. This is the money you pay each month to live in a house or apartment that someone else owns. What's your example?
The rent in the city is higher, but there are many things to do nearby. Let's move on to personal space. It means the physical area around someone that they feel is their own. Can you give me an example, Judy?
In the city, there isn't much personal space because there are so many people. Now let's talk about quiet. It means when there is little or no noise. Emily, can you use it in a sentence?
I love how quiet it is in the village, especially at night. Now let's move to the word stressful. This word means causing worry or pressure, making you feel anxious. Judy, can you give us an example?
The busy city life can be stressful because there's always so much to do. Let's continue with public transportation. This includes buses, trains, or other vehicles that people use to travel around a city or town. Emily, what's your example?
I take public transportation to work every day because parking in the city is difficult. Now let's talk about fresh air. It means clean, cool air that feels good to breathe, usually found in nature. Judy, what's your example?
I enjoy taking walks in the countryside where the air is fresh. Let's move on to job opportunities. These are the chances to find a job or work in a specific area. Emily, can you give me an example?
Cities often have more job opportunities than small villages. Lastly, let's discuss entertainment. It means things people do for fun, like going to movies, concerts, or sports events. Judy, can you give us an example?
Well, the city has more entertainment options like theaters and museums.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you enjoyed learning about the village and city life with us.
Yes, remember, each place has its own beauty and stories. We can't wait to explore more words and topics in our next episode.
So stay tuned. Until next time, keep learning and practicing your English.
Goodbye, everyone.